Okay, get this. What if I told you that a substance with a name that sounds like it's straight out of a fantasy novel could actually hold the keys to modern medicine? We're going to dive deep into an ancient remedy, a treasure from the natural world that science is just now really beginning to understand. And its name is dragon's blood. Just look at that incredible deep crimson color. For centuries, this stuff was literally as precious as gold. And for thousands of years, people weren't just using it for medicine. No way. It was a huge deal on ancient trade routes. It was the vibrant red pigment that artists used to bring their work to life. And it was even used as a sacred incense in spiritual ceremonies. So, great story, right? But is there any real science behind all the folklore? Can modern research actually explain why a substance with such a mythical name was so important? Well, let's find out. All right, first things first. Where in the world does this stuff actually come from? And before you ask, I promise no dragons were harmed in the making of this explainer. Dragon's blood actually comes from a tree. Specifically, it's the resin that oozes from several species of Dracaena trees. The most famous one grows on this incredible, almost alien-looking island called Socotra off the coast of Yemen. And this is where it gets really cool. The resin is basically the tree's own personal first aid kit. When the bark gets cut or damaged, the tree bleeds this thick red sap. This stuff hardens and forms a protective shield, almost like a natural bandage, to seal the wound and keep infections out. Pretty smart, right? So, what's the secret sauce? What's in this natural bandage that makes it so powerful? To figure that out, we've got to zoom in, way in, all the way down to the molecular level. Turns out, this resin is an incredible cocktail of potent bioactive compounds. Seriously, think of it like the plant's very own chemical toolkit. It is just packed with things like phenolic compounds, which act like the plant's bodyguards, and various forms of vitamin E, which are amazing antioxidants. But among all these amazing chemicals, one group really steals the show, the flavonoids. These guys are the real heavy hitters here. They are powerhouse molecules responsible for a ton of dragon's blood's most famous benefits, like calming inflammation and fighting off damage in our bodies. So it's one thing to know all this good stuff is hiding in there, but the real puzzle for scientists is, how do you get it out? And not just get it out, but get it out in its most potent form. And that very question leads us to some really fascinating research from 2024. A team of scientists basically decided to play detective. They wanted to figure out the absolute best way to unlock and extract this chemical treasure. The process itself sounds pretty straightforward. You grind up the resin, mix it with a liquid, a solvent, to dissolve and pull out all the active compounds. Then you analyze that liquid to see what you've got. But here's the kicker. The solvent, the liquid you choose, changes everything. And what they found is just so cool. Different solvents acted like different keys, unlocking different treasures. Vinegar, for example, was brilliant for getting a wide range of organic acids. Methanol was the key for vitamin E. But chloroform, whoa, that was the master key. It unlocked the highest concentration of those all-important phenolic compounds. And this is the really big takeaway here. The method you use, the solvent you choose, completely changes what you get out of the resin. It proves that to really harness nature's power, you need incredible scientific precision. And how much of a difference does that precision make? Get this. That master key, chloroform, pulled out a staggering amount of one specific flavonoid called apigenin. We're talking over 40,000 micrograms per gram. That is just an unbelievable concentration. And this compound, it is a total rock star in the world of plant medicine. Now, a discovery like that isn't just some interesting number on a lab report. It's the scientific key that connects what we're finding today with centuries of traditional wisdom. Finding that massive amount of apigenin directly explains some of the resin's most famous healing powers. We already know from tons of other research that apigenin is a beast when it comes to fighting inflammation and protecting our cells from damage. It's a perfect scientific match. But wait, there's more. Seriously, modern research has now confirmed a whole spectrum of benefits. It helps skin repair itself, it can stop bleeding, it fights off microbes, it helps with circulation, it even reduces pain. There's even research into its effects on blood sugar and potential anti-tumor activity. It is literally an entire pharmacy packed into a single resin. And this lines up perfectly with its history. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's famous for invigorating blood circulation. Well, now modern science is showing us what that actually means on a cellular level. It can affect our platelets and help prevent things like blood clots. And this isn't just about the past. This ancient remedy is being studied for some of our most modern health problems. We're talking everything from coronary heart disease to helping heal really persistent wounds like diabetic foot ulcers. It's proving to be just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. So, when you step back and look at this whole journey, from ancient folklore all the way to a modern lab, what does it all tell us? Well, to me, dragon's blood is the perfect story of ancient wisdom being proven right by rigorous science. For centuries, people knew it worked. And now, thanks to all this detailed analysis, we're finally understanding why it works. And that leaves you with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? If this one mythical-sounding resin holds so much medicinal power, what else is out there? How many other secrets are hidden in the natural world, in the stories our ancestors told, just waiting for us to rediscover them? It makes you think. The next great medical breakthrough might just be hidden in an ancient legend.